Welcome back to Hosting Life Together. This session is titled, Championing Your Spiritual Gifts. Your gifts together. You know, the Bible teaches in 1 Corinthians 12:7 that spiritual gifts are given for the common good of the body. See, the body is supposed to get the blessing of being able to see those gifts be open and be engaged in and be exercised. But if they're not, it's like walking by a Christmas tree and leaving all the packages wrapped. Now, that any young kid is going to tell you that is the craziest thing on earth. It's so funny because it reminds me of one time I grew up in a family with my single mom and two sisters, cousin and aunt. And one time we were sitting there by the Christmas tree, and you guys can all remember this, where you're just tearing the thing up and just, you know, everybody wanted to see what everybody got. What's the next gift, the next gift? One time I opened my gift, and I opened it up, and I pulled this thing out, and what it was a skirt. It was a skirt. It was a woman's skirt. My sisters, the thing got all messed up. My mom late at night, I think, just must have switched it. They all laughed at me. We still look back on it and laugh. But it reminds me, even in this moment, how each one of us get different gifts. And when we open them up, everybody can look at them and affirm them or say, you know what, I don't think that's yours. That's probably somebody else's. But have you really helped identify and develop your own gifts? Do you even know what those gifts are?
If I were able to speak to small group leaders and really kind of communicate one thing, they are in a very unique role to equip people. They're in a position to help them be all that God called them to be. Too many times people get beat up and put down and they fail and, oh, we don't think they have enough faith or they're not committed enough. But when it is they need to understand who they are, how God's called them and cared for them in a caring community where they can talk about that and work that out. And I think small group leaders have that environment in which to do life together. I think that's a great expression because that really captures, to me, a very unique learning, growing, developing part of an equipping church.
Here's what we want to do before we start the training. We want to break you down into groups of 3 or 4. We want you to take about 60, 90 seconds each and go ahead and share just one experience where you saw your gifts be used. And when they were used, that people recognized them and they affirmed those particular gifts in your life. Now, you may not know all the language or the exactness of what those words are. We'll even help you with that. But right now, when you were in a place where you just felt like God used your life and that people affirmed whatever it was. It could be at school, it could have been in high school, it could have been at work, or it could have been at church. But right now, do your best to just interact over a time of your life where you felt like it was full wind in those sails and you were being fully you and God was being blessed. Let's go ahead and just talk and see what happens.